Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We would like to welcome everyone to the XRP Army News Show. We've got a great, friendly conversation today. And I don't know if y'all have noticed, but this is a little eerie if anybody wants to put their tin hat on. But Lionel and I have practically the same hat. We are both wearing glasses, and we're both wearing an orange shirt.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that.
Coincidence? I don't know. It's kind of spooky. So what I'd like to do now, I believe everyone in our community knows Lionel, President Sausage Beast. He is very active on Twitter, and he is honestly one of the people. Every time that he puts a tweet out, I'm glued to it because he's a very, very, very sharp person. And now that I've gotten to talk with him a little bit before we started this, when you get to understand a little more about his background, you'll understand why he's a very smart person that we all ought to be listening to because of his background. Now, Lionel, would you like to introduce yourself and let's kick our friendly conversation off?
Okay, so my name's Lionel. Everybody insists on calling me Lionel. I'm half French, half English. I have dual nationality. My parents christened me Lionel. I was in the banking industry for 34 years. And yeah, do you want me to go through all the different banks, or?
If you would like to. And one of the things that, I've requested to be able to have a friendly conversation with you before, and then all of a sudden this morning you reached out to me and said, oh, okay, I think we need to go ahead and do this now. So was there anything that you saw happening out there in XRP world that you felt like it was time and that you spurred your interest in doing this now?
So basically I woke up this morning to this stupid Financial Times article. Now I couldn't get to read it all because I don't pay for their subscription thing, and I didn't bother going to newsagents to go and buy it. But I got the general gist of what it was saying, and I could probably guess. From what I could see, they've done no real research into this, and just going by what they see in volumes, and they like to pay attention to FUD. From what I could see, it wasn't exactly sounding like a positive article. Now, these are just newspaper people. They've not worked in banking. They don't understand how long projects take. There's also a big element to this. Now, we all know Ripple is, created RippleNet and ODL, which was known as XRP before. People got to bear in mind, Ripple just didn't build this on their own. This was built with the banks, yeah? So they've been advised how they want this to work, yeah? That they've been chucking money at Ripple, investing in them. Ripple did not create this and go, right, this is the product, test it, and plug it in and use it. It's not how it works, yeah? It simply isn't. It's a new piece of software that was created, and the banks have to test it, and they will then give their feedback to Ripple and say, look, we like this, but we don't like this. We needed to do this, we needed to do that, and so on. And so it keeps building out. So like we saw the new home system that was created, I'm sure that came from the advice from the banks saying, we would like this. This would save us time with the legal department, the compliance department, all the various departments, yeah, so that they can, when they want to link up to another bank to use ODL, all the correct things are in place, so they can just click, yes, let's start trading with each other, yeah. So people have got to bear that in mind. It's not Ripple built something and saying, right, this is how it works, and you're gonna use it how we tell you. That's not how it works at all. I've seen so many new softwares being developed in banks in the past, and we've put them through their paces and said, right, okay, we don't like this, we need you to change that. And it takes ages. It takes really ages. It can take years sometimes. It's like Microsoft Excel, yeah? we were using Microsoft Excel 2003 all the way up until 2012, before they allowed us to go on to 2007. And it was like 2014 that they started to allow us to use Excel 2010. So just if you take that into account, that's how long it can take for something to come online. Yeah, because they want it to be 100% sure it's secure. It's got no viruses, nothing's going to leak. Okay, we get hackers and stuff, but every company gets that.
And Lionel, from your extensive banking background, and basically you were in the banking industry the entire time with the fractional reserve system. Do you believe that we absolutely have got to have a reset? I mean, I just don't see, with all of the countries that are going to the IMF asking for money, and America as in debt as we are, that we can keep going with this system.
But this reset thing, there's going to be a reset, but I think when they refer to reset, it's more to do with software than it is to do with the monetary side of things. And people are going, oh yeah, they're printing loads of money and all this lot. Look, we've been through this many times before. It's like the Second World War, yeah? Money was printed to pay for that, and it had to be paid back. It took decades, more than half a century, in fact, it took to pay it back. It's the same situation here. They're not going to do any debt forgiveness. They will do, well, let me put this right. For some countries, some countries, third world countries, they're going to have to forgive the debt. There's no way they'll ever get out of that situation. And they need all the help that they can get. And that's where I love the idea of Ripple and ODL, because it will help them big time. Now, reset to me is software. It's nothing to do about how fiat's going to change. I mean, the US dollar reserve status, it probably will go. It will probably move to something like BRICS or something, and that will get digitalized, and then the XRP will be the bridge to that. I don't believe in any of this nonsense about XRP becoming a reserve currency, because governments want to control a reserve currency. They may need to print some more. This could happen again anytime. And say that all the XRP is out there and it's all taken up, there's 100 billion of it, Ripple can't print anymore. Well, I say Ripple never even printed it. The developers of XRP did, David Schwartz and Arthur Britto, etc. They won't be able to print anymore. It won't be possible. So they're going to want to be able to have their own control over a reserve currency, and if they need to print more, they can print more, and that won't go away. As for Internet of Value and all that, yes, I believe it will come, but it's going to take a very long time, because there's so many old people still out there that still love how things operate now. It's so much easier. I mean, even I don't like wallets. I don't like the fact I'm using these long codes and everything. This is why I love Revolut, because A, it's a bank, and B, it's custody. They are custody now, by the way. I don't have to worry about keys. If somebody steals it, they cover it. I'm insured. I do have XRP on wallets, but like I say, I don't enjoy it at all. It makes me nervous. Worried I'm going to lose the keys and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it needs to be integrated slowly, like the euro was. So, I don't know if you saw how that happens in Europe. So, the euro was brought in alongside all the various different fiat currencies, like the French franc and Deutschmark, lira, and all that sort of stuff. And everything will be priced up in both those currencies. Yeah, so if you're buying vegetables, you'll have both prices, in euro and in French francs, for example. And you could spend either euros or French francs. And slowly, the French franc was taken out. But everybody was ready to use the euro. And it took time. I think it took at least 2 years before it finally fully transitioned. So, where I'm going with this is people saying everybody use Bitcoin. Well, it's not going to happen because there's no transition. Nothing's priced in Bitcoin when you go to the shops. Yeah, it's and it's too slow. So getting away from Bitcoin, because I really don't want to talk about that. It's not interesting to me.
Yep,
so
neither.
Yeah, so reset to me is software. It's nothing to do about, oh, they're going to pay my mortgage off and I'm going to be living happily ever after. No, we're going to be miserable for a while. Sorry.
Well, and how do you feel about the possibility that not XRP as a currency, but what about as being in the basket with the IMF? Because we had a pretty strong IMF article come out yesterday, and they actually mentioned Ripple and XRP, which honestly, I had a tough time sleeping last night. I got so excited about that.
Yes.
But do you think not being a currency on its own, but being in the basket of SDRs, with the IMF now seeming like that they're, saying Ripple is good and XRP is good, you feel like that's a possibility?
That's a definite possibility. I mean, look, Brad's been with all the central bankers in Switzerland. He's been there with Christine Lagarde. I mean, they're going to use XRP. Yeah, it's just that they're slow because they're thinking about all the scenarios that could possibly happen. Yeah, and I think XRP will be used along with a basket of different currencies, digital currencies, and SDRs. That I believe will happen, yeah, and it will significantly increase the value of XRP, but as a bridge for those, yeah. Now, people are probably dreaming that XRP will be like market cap of 20 trillion. Now, I don't really see that happening because it only needs to be the market cap of what's required that day, yeah. And if you watched Swell in 2019 with a central banker who was on stage, he's no longer a central banker, but he was. But he knew his stuff, yeah. And he's from India, but it doesn't matter. He still knew his stuff. And he said that XRP won't be a reserve currency. What he said is it's a medium of exchange. He wants it to be volatile, yeah, because every day it changes, yeah. The banks have got money stuck in Nostro Vostro. Say it's 10 trillion at the moment. That 10 trillion is not going to go into XRP, yeah, because they don't use that 10 trillion every day. They'll use a fraction of it probably on a daily basis, but they have to have money sufficient enough in reserve for them to use it for their customers. So when it comes to moving to XRP, they won't need to hold the XRP. They'll just need to use it. So the actual size of the market cap of XRP would be a fraction of the total Vostro value, because it's going to be continuous transactions all the time. So it'll be like you just need to be 1 trillion to service 20 trillion per day. Yeah, because it's going very fast in and out constantly. What will make it increase in value is all the other additional use cases like Coil, Internet of Value, and all that other stuff piled onto it. And then if we get the DTCC on board, that's 1.2 gazillion worth of funds going through. Now, I don't see Bitcoin being able to handle that, and I don't see Ethereum be able to hold to service that amount of money, because it needs a speed.
Well, yeah. that would take the electricity that would knock the entire planet off its axis.
Yeah.
So when you first originally saw Ripple, and I guess since you got a banking background, you weren't put off with it being the banker's coin. But do you see any other way that the world, the people who run the world economically, we're just going to give up and we're going to have an anarchy coin and take over the entire way that everything happens economically? Or did you see the way that Brad and Chris Larson and David Schwartz laid it out? We're going to work within the existing system to help them run more efficiently.
So Brad and Chris went the right way about it. You have to work with the system. Yeah. If you work against it, you ain't going to make any friends, and they're the most powerful friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
They hold all the money, you know.
Yeah.
We're just the little people. We're just the little guys, you know. So, you know, you got all these anarchists out there thinking, yeah, we're gonna take over the world. Get a life. Seriously, wake up. You know, people work with banks because they don't just provide bank accounts. They provide services, you know, they provide financial advice. These are experts, yeah. A lot of people out there don't like banks because of all these scandals, but they were individual employees within the banks that caused these problems, not the CEOs and chairmen at the top. Yeah. Okay, there might have been the odd one, but I mean, I know Jamie Dimon, you know, from when I was working at JP Morgan. He signed me off from one of my projects. They ran out of budget, and we weren't finished with the project, and I had to go to him personally to get my budget extended so that I could finish the project off. You know, that guy is super good. He really knows his stuff. He did a very good job in 2000 for the 2008 crash. He saw a lot of stuff coming before. I remember when he came over to London and he was on stage, he would talk about what all the other banks were doing and what risks they were taking, and that he was avoiding all that. And he made some seriously good decisions. He really did. The guy is smart cookie. Yeah.
Well, again, I always like to go back to when Brad said, you know, you want to go against these people, you're going to have to break out the tanks and the guns, because they're just not going to roll over. And I come from a sales background, not a finance background, but I didn't have any problem with the logic of what I saw that Ripple was doing. So I didn't have any hesitancy when I saw all of the FUD about, oh, it's the banker's coin. It made perfect sense to me. Well, last year in October, Brad said that we were about 3 miles into the marathon. And do you feel like that the pandemic or beer cold or whatever you call it, do you feel like that it has accelerated the speed of the gate? And how far along do you feel like we are now to getting to that particular finish line?
Right. So this is the frustration I have. I don't think we're even walking at the moment, from what I can see. I mean, there's not a huge amount of transactions going through ODL at the moment. I am seeing volume increase. When they turned off the Treasury side of things for MoneyGram, I don't think it was just MoneyGram, because basically the price of XRP wasn't high enough. You know, it just simply wasn't liquid enough to be able to deal with that, because it needs to be constant. Yeah, but if you haven't got liquidity, if they're doing one transaction and they have to wait to do the second transaction until there's enough liquidity to do the next one, it's not going to sustain the price of XRP. So that they're moving from Treasury to PTP, which to me they should have done from the start. But I think there's a lot of secrets Ripple aren't telling us. So the way they explained it was they were testing with the Treasury stuff. That makes sense to me, to prove the concept to MoneyGram, and then they moved to P2P, because then P2P you're going to see millions, tiny little of transactions. And that means, you know, they're going to be using all that available XRP sitting on the exchanges, which will then support the price. And as those micro payments get bigger and bigger, it will slowly push the price up along with the people speculating. Now, there's a lot of people out there listening to all this bloody FUD and some of these Twitter guys, and I'm seeing a lot of people now trying to convince people to move to stupid coins like Zap, you know, that's got customers I've never heard of. The guy is a one-man show, and he's based in the Cayman Islands. I mean, for God's sakes, I mean, okay, yeah, they're making money, but you try selling that. Try get out of it. It's going to be a lot harder getting out of it. You know, you're being blinded. I mean, just look at just look at. I know it's painful. We're all suffering, but we're being attacked by. We're being attacked by a lot of the Bitcoin maxes. They're shorting the hell out of BTC. You're just have to go and look. You can see it. They've also been buying up XRP and selling it at a lower price, and then when the price spikes, they've been selling into it to drop the price. So there's complete manipulation going on there. When Brad says Brad Garlinghouse has said in the past it's not being manipulated, I'm afraid I'm going to have to disagree with him on that front. It's very manipulated. You can see it on the 15-minute chart. You get a green candle, and exactly the opposite happens straight away. You know, it's you can see it's terribly manipulated. But the thing is, you got to ignore all that and just wait, because when they go online, they're going to wish that they hadn't traded to these other coins. They really are. It's you just don't know when it's going to happen, and the chance of missing that is crazy. And also, you got to look at it as a 10-year hold as well, because adoption is going to take years. We're talking about 11,000+ banks that have got to be onboarded. That's not going to be done overnight. Yeah, so it's a growing asset.
No.
It's like having the best deposit account you could ever dream of, because you just let it sit there and you just take what you need as it's growing. You know, I need a second hypercar. Fine, I'll just take what I need for that car and buy it and let the rest grow. You know, whatever you need. But playing around with it, I think, is silly. But each to their own. If they want to believe FUD stories, let them. But you just got to bear in mind, Cointelegraph is investing in Bitcoin. Forbes, a lot of them have invested in Bitcoin. That they don't want XRP to succeed, because it's going to drain Bitcoin. You know, you'll see people will slowly migrate to XRP. We've actually seen a few people from Bitcoin actually started moving over to XRP now. They're singing the praises of XRP, and that doesn't shock me.
Charlie Shrem.
Yeah.
Charlie Shrem had a wonderful, wonderful interview with David Schwartz.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the part for me, and look, I'm a unabashed American. I love America, and I don't believe that Satoshi, whoever he is, or the group of people that made him up, whatever, I don't believe that they imagined that the hash rate would be about 65% in China. And I don't think that they imagined, when they saw it being decentralized, that would end up happening. But that's the reality of it. And for the American BTC maxis, I can't see how they're looking at this situation now. And I'm not a financial analyst. This is not financial advice. I'm not a politician. I am a libertarian, which is right smack dab down the middle. But it's almost to the point where I'm looking at it and I'm feeling almost like, and I know this is a strong statement, but so what? It's my opinion. It doesn't mean anything to anybody else but me. But it's almost to the point where I'm feeling like it's almost un-American to be talking, to be a Bitcoin maxi if you're American. The hash rate is dominated in China. I mean, it's not what was intended, but that's the reality of it right now. And as an American, I have a problem with that, because I'm not a member of the Chinese Communist Party. I'm an American and I'm a libertarian. So I just don't get it. And I know that the ones that are preaching that the loudest are heavily invested in it, and that's why they're promoting it. But Jesus, why can't they just be honest about the fact that there's some serious issues? And then the other thing, and I'll shut up. What about 57,000 times less eco-friendly than XRP? I mean, how can you be a Bitcoin maximalist and not understand that the world is going to have a hard time with mass adoption of something that uses up that much energy. I mean, come on.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that don't believe that we got environmental issues out there. That's the big issue, and they're just seeing the money, and you know, oh, there's only 21 million. They're not looking at the real risks that they've put themselves in. They're not understanding that China's a communist country at the end of the day, and the CCP can decide what will happen with Bitcoin mining. They just think, oh no, these are individuals. They own the miners. No, the CCP can override them anytime they want. They can walk in there, shut it down, whatever they want to do. It's communist. You know, people are backing something that's being controlled by communism. I mean, you got to really hate your country to be able to be doing that. I mean, I was married to. I used to be married to a Czech girl for 12 years, and you know, I saw her country come out of communism. You know, and she was so happy when Czech Republic came out of being, you know, from communism. Her life changed so much, and Czech Republic are doing really well now. You know, they're doing quite well. You know, but yeah, you don't want to be supporting that.
I don't think so either. And again, I'm not trying to, you know, upset anyone by saying that, but again, just practically speaking, you actually said it better than I did. The Chinese Communist Party can go in and they can take control of the mining operations of the people in their country just like that. I mean, and again, no one anticipated that when the Bitcoin white paper came out. That wasn't in it. I understand that, but we are where we are right now, and the biggest thing is I don't see any of the Bitcoin maximalists, like I call him Pompliano, and I don't see the Twinkle Floss twins, is what I call them. I don't see any of them being honest with anyone that they're sharing information with, and I believe that they're doing a disservice to the entire crypto space.
They're doing a disservice to the crypto space, but also they're doing a disservice to a lot of people, because they're not highlighting the true risks of what there is with Bitcoin. All he ever does is talk about price, which is, you know, I could talk about price of grapes. You know, it's a bad season this year. Grapes are going to go up. You know, 21 million of something that can't be used to me is worth nothing. And when I say it's store of value, it can only be a store of value if it's got utility. It's got no utility, you know. And people go, oh yeah, but it's still cheap and it's fast. No, it's not fast. You've got to pay a huge fee for it to be put top of the chain, you know, for it to be processed. I got free banking in the UK. Why would I want a Bitcoin if I've got free banking? Yeah. The only thing that would make it interesting is it can go up in value, yeah. But the thing is, it can drop in value, and I want to buy my food. You know, I want to know I've got enough money to buy my food the next day. I don't want to wake up and find out. You know, I went to bed, it was 10,000. I wake up in the morning, and it's worth 1 cent. You know, and then I can't go and buy my food. I mean, that is just ludicrous. That's not the way to go. It really isn't.
Well, I don't know if you saw Roger Ver put out a little video maybe yesterday or the day before, and he showed in a Caribbean restaurant that he was in on his phone transferring $20 worth of Bitcoin, and his friend transferred it to Roger's wallet, and the transaction fee was like over $6, and then he transferred it right back, and the transfer fee was like $5.50. And I mean, I just don't see how people like Pompliano and the Twinklevoss twins and Tone Vase, I cannot see how they can see that is a reality right now.
Yeah, I mean,
and with good conscience, not share that the negative things that's going on right now with Bitcoin I own some, I wouldn't have any problem at all with it going to $1 million a Bitcoin. But I just don't see how that's going to happen unless they fix the issues that they have right now.
Yeah, but I mean, they're going to talk up Bitcoin because they're invested in it. They're early investors. They want other people to buy it to push the price up. Yeah. They're not going to tell you anything negative about it. It's ever. As for Tone Vays, to me, he's a massive disappointment. You know, although when I look at his career history, he wasn't in banking very long, and I'm actually not very surprised. He worked for one bank for 2 years that went bust. That got taken over by JPM. So I would say that he was just transitioned over from losing the job at I think it was at Lehman's or whoever it was. And I guess that they probably had enough of him after 2 years. That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, his charting hasn't been exactly accurate. Well, he got it pretty wrong most occasions. He got it right once, and everybody was singing his praises. You know, on Block TV or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
No. You know, I don't mind the guy. You know, he's making a living on teaching people how to chart, but his advice on crypto, if he's only just going to look at Bitcoin and not be open to other things, look, people see me as XRP Maxi. That's not what it's about. I'm looking at, is it being used? Who are the customers? Who are working on it to become a customer who's going to use it? And will it actually happen? Then you look at all these other coins, and some of them, what is it? Link, and my understanding is that's smart contracts. The actual smart contracts database was created already, and then they saw that coins were making money, so they decided to create a coin and say, yeah, buy my coin. But the two are totally separate from each other. So yeah, it's going up to $15. Yeah, good luck to everybody. But you're buying into something that doesn't actually do anything. You know, the actual use case is the database, not the coin. You know, the two are not. If you can prove to me that the coin is being used, fine, but it's not. This bloody Zap thing, winding me up big time. You know, I've had to block so many people with this Zap thing. People got to be really careful. There's a lot of bots out there that will promote a coin. Do not listen to them. If they've only got 2 friends or followers or whatever, just block them. You know, it's really not a good idea to fall into that trap.
Right. Well, here in the southern United States, the way we describe that is that there's a real big difference between enthusiasm and stupidity.
Yeah.
So slow down and take a look,
Yeah.
just like you said, slow down, take a look at the problem that they're solving, take a look at the company, the people behind it that are making it happen, and then look at the utility. And if those 3 things aren't there, then yeah, you may be able to have a little bit of a pump, but then it's going to dump.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think a little bit about what you're looking at, not just, don't do this all based on emotion. Put in a little bit of logic into the decision making that you're going
but the
through.
big problem is a lot of people in the space are not technical. I mean, I'm not really technical. I'm more of an accountant and project manager and you know, business analyst and financial analyst and accountant. You know, and also you know, I've done a lot of credit risk stuff. So I understand all those aspects of, you know, within the financial industry. I know about regulations. This is what I want to bring up about regulations. Some people going, oh, we're waiting on the US regulations, so XRP can't be used by the other banks. Yeah, this is utter bullshit. Now, now let me explain why. So one of my
please the bull.
One of my recent jobs was at UBS, so I was brought in to look at all their products that they have. Are you running out of time?
No.
Yeah. So they
Not at all. I really want to hear. I really want to hear this part.
They got thousands of different products, yeah, at UBS. But the problem is, different countries, their offices in different countries, name their products differently, yeah. So they wanted me to come in and basically consolidate all that and align all the products so they're all called the same. You know, if it's, you know, a mortgage and it's called something different in Spain versus the UK or USA, we'd rename what they call it over there and call it a mortgage, and that's the one product, yeah. Now that was fine, but the problem was, which the bank didn't quite understand, because these are change management guys I'm working with, yeah, but they're not accountants. These guys just do projects and stuff, so they don't have a bigger view of what's going on. There were some products you just simply couldn't combine to being one product, because different countries have different regulations, and the regulations stipulate how you report those products in your financial accounts, yeah. So one, it can be in the UK, you know, it can have different requirements, reporting requirements in the UK versus what it could do in Spain or the USA, and that happens a lot, yeah. So when it comes to XRP, a lot of the countries have already started, you know, to complete their regulations, so they could start using ODL. Yeah, these banks can start using them. Not in the USA, because USA, let's not talk about that. I get a bit angry. But places like the UK, we've done that. France has, you know, sorted out the regulation for it. They know how it can be used. Germany, Switzerland, Japan has cleared it. Somebody tweeted the other day, oh no, that's end of year. No, it's already been done. The SBI is what's supposed to be going live the end of the year. You know, we're supposed to see big adoption from them. So basically, Ripple can go live with all these other countries. We don't have to wait on the USA, yeah. And there are many products that are set up in different countries that the USA may not be even be able to offer, but those countries offer those products because they're regulatory approved, yeah. So they don't have to wait on the USA to say, okay, Europe can use that product now because we decided that you can use it. USA does not have decision on individual countries' regulation and how they use their products. Yeah, so let's make that really clear, because a lot of people seem to think that the USA runs the show. They run the show for the USA. The UK works very closely with the USA. For some reason, though, for crypto, we're not seen to be very aligned, and I think that's more to do with political problems you've got over in the USA. I'm not going to get into politics, but there's a clear issue. I mean, I got a feeling Clayton is holding things back because he doesn't want Trump to look good. That's my view on things. He doesn't want that guy in power, and he's not going to give clarity until either he's gone or Trump's gone. I was hoping Hester Pierce would replace him, but
me too.
But I don't think I don't think that's going to happen while Trump's there. I think Clayton will stay in his position as long as he possibly can hold on to it, because I think he got offered another position, didn't he? And I don't think he's still decided. He hasn't decided yet, has he?
Right.
And I don't think he will. I mean, I feel like this is all deliberate. This is all, and it's hurting the USA when it comes to progression with, you know, with their projects and stuff. And that's not good for the people. It's not good for businesses. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to get around that, but I think Ripple's emphasis on the USA, I think, needs to lighten up a bit, and they concentrate on getting on with the other countries, and maybe that will be the armor they need to push the USA government into doing regulatory clarity. Yeah, because if they start seeing Europe's using it, Asia's using it, and USA is suddenly, the US dollar is not being used much anymore, they're going to be pushed into a corner saying, right, okay, we've got to commit, we've got to move on. That's the only way I can see it. They got to play a game of chess here. They can't just be, I'm American, I'm a patriot. That's not going to work. They need to play this like a game of chess, and it's done like this in banking. When we're doing projects, I had to talk with different departments, to get things done, and sometimes I had to play a political game in order for it to happen, because some people wouldn't move. They simply wouldn't move. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. It's going to threaten my job. But you have to do it. And then they'll need something. And I go, well, no, I mean, if you want this, you've got to give me that. And I'd get my way, And if that didn't work, I'd escalate and go to their boss and go, right, okay, even needs to go, will you give me somebody else,
Well, do you feel like that Judy Shelton has a good shot at getting confirmed? And do you feel like that will be a good thing for the adoption of all those who love crypto?
I don't know too well, but I think from what I've seen so far, she seems like definitely a positive thing for crypto space. I'm not liking the fact that Bitcoin's getting cleared for banks to hold. I really am angry with this, because it's a bit like the mortgages scandal. What was it called? The USA mortgages. What were they called? That brought down the markets.
You mean the?
I've gone blank.
That's okay. TARP was the bailout, and the fact that they gave everybody a mortgage that wasn't qualified to have it.
Yeah, but there was a name for it. I forget. Nah, it's gone. Basically, okay. Those mortgages should never have been offered. Yeah. Never, ever. And this is one thing why I came into banking with regulations, and then I saw Tony Blair come into power, and then they removed regulations. Yeah, I was completely against regulations going, because I know how people are. Yeah, they all claim they're honest. No, they're not. They go in and they apply for a mortgage, and they lie about their salaries to get the highest mortgage they can to buy that dream house. There's no there was no protection there. No protection for the people. The banks are there to make money, but also to protect you as well from making stupid decisions. But when those regulations got removed, you saw all the greed. Now we got that within crypto. Now Bitcoin to me is like these mortgages, because it's got no utility. They're allowing a product that is a pyramid scheme at the end of the day, because that is all it is. They're allowing it into the banking system. What is going through people's heads? They've even called it a pyramid scheme themselves. Even the banks call it a pyramid scheme. But now they're letting it into. They're making the same stupid mistakes they've made in the past. The coins that should be allowed into the banks are the ones that are of actual real use and follow regulation. Yeah, and it's not being used for nefarious activities. So that is a bit of a worry for me, that they're allowing some of these coins to be held by banks. To me, that is totally wrong. And I don't know why people's knuckles aren't being wrapped. But my understanding is the guy that's currently just recently took over, who's a Bitcoin maxi, he just got the OCC to clear Bitcoin as being a currency. That's not helpful. Yeah, that's not really helped us. The actual crypto side of things. It needs to be somebody who looks at stuff for what it is. Is it real or is it not? why we got 5,000 coins on the market, I got no idea. It's, you know, there should be something saying it's allowed because of this, but the exchanges are allowing them on. The exchanges aren't allowing these coins to get on. There's no real control here. It's scary, and people are going to be ripped off at the end of the day. It looks great now. They're going, oh, I'm making money, but if they carry on holding on to those and they don't get out before these whales do, they're going to be sitting on massive losses. Then they're going to be complaining to the banks and calling it the bank's fault. It's not. It's not. It's up to the individuals. But there we are. That's where we are with that.
Okay, so as we wind down, I always kind of close up our interviews with three things. First, as you know, I'm trying to interview as many people in our XRP Army community as possible, making a series of videos called A Moment in Time. And the reason that I'm doing that is I want to get a 10-minute or less clip for different kinds of people. Like, you've got a banking background. It is very valuable for all of us to, if we're talking to a banker, to be able to share your story with them. Yesterday, I got to talk with a great gal, Queen Crypto in Las Vegas, who's a realtor. So what I'm trying to do is get a story to match every person that we may be sharing this with. And so what I'd like, if you, how do you feel about other people coming on and doing these interviews so we can get stories out there? And what would you say to the influencers that we hear from every day? Would you like to hear more from them in this type of interview? And then, excuse me, last, a final message that you'd like to kind of say to everyone?
Yeah,
and so go.
So the influencers side of things, I don't listen to many. I listen to quite a few, actually. I used to listen to Digital Asset Guy, but after the swell 2019 and that, I stopped listening. I was really disappointed with him. I liked him a lot. I mean, I still do like him. I just didn't like that he carried on with the narrative of reserve currency and all that stuff when he's been told flatly that it's not going to be. I listened to King Solomon. He's really good. I mean, that guy, fantastic, great presenter. 100% recommend everybody watch him. Really, really right up there for me. He'd make a great project manager if I was working in banking again. And also, Crypto Eri she's my number one.
Me too.
She is like gold. She's very clear and concise in what she says. She does very good deep diving, and she verifies all the dots that she connects, which is fantastic. So yeah, there's another one. Kevin Cage is pretty good. What I don't like is influencers that talk about $700 in XRP. Those are, as far as I'm concerned, if they start saying that, just block them. They're just a bunch of idiots. Nobody knows what the price will be, and I'm not counting on 700. I think max it might go maybe 100, but that's long way away. You know, I might even be dead by then. I don't know. You know, 52 now. Yeah.
And would you like to hear? I've been asking Kevin, and I actually got a confirmation from him that he'll do an interview with me.
Nice one.
It's just a matter of when. And I've been asking King Solomon, and what I'm asking you is, Lionel, would you like to hear a little bit more about them personally, along with the great news videos that they're going over with us all the time? Because I like getting to know people. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get together with you. I wanted to know the person behind all these.
Yeah, I would like to know their background and how they got into this, and how they because some of them are very good at what they do, and some of them I know have not worked in banking, yet they do quite a good job. Yeah, sometimes they get it wrong and make big assumptions, but still not bad. Pretty good. Some make huge, bloody great big assumptions, but that's because they just want to see what they want to see, and they're not looking at the reality of the situation. So I'd love to hear about these people's backgrounds. I know quite a bit about Eri because I talk to her now and then anyway, and she's just an amazing person, you know, and she's a cat lover like me, so I think she wins me already. So yeah, I'd like to hear from some of these influencers, but I really have no interest in these other influencers that are trying to win people over by saying $700 all the time. That pisses me off, and I wish they'd get sued because it's just wrong, absolutely wrong. Sorry, but I think this stuff sort of needs to be said because you know, people are dreaming these unbelievable numbers. Yeah, they're going to be rich, but they're not going to be made rich of 5,000 XRP. You know, it's going to take time. So, yeah, I want to see good, honest influencers who can connect dots, but also back those dots up, and how they got to be in the space. How, you know, because they do a great job, and I'm wondering why, you know, why they're having to do this, because to me they seem to be super intelligent and you know, probably could be making an awful lot of money in some IT industry or banking industry, and shitloads of money. I don't have to do this. I just buy the coins.
Right, and for people in our XRP community that are not influencers, but they have stories. Wouldn't you like to hear from some of the people that may feel like that nobody has that much interest in hearing what they've got to say because they don't have a big YouTube channel?
I mean, I'm very close to Denise, you know, Kate Moss lookalike. We met about 2 years ago now, I think. And we get on like a house on fire. I mean, we're really real big buddies. Yeah, I made a really good friend there, actually. And she's got a fantastic story. I mean, it's she's not just beautiful. She's very, very smart, and she's patient. And yeah, so definitely she needs to be interviewed because you should hear her story. She's got a very good story. XRP Rose, I have to mention her because she mentioned me. But you've already interviewed her.
Gotcha.
So I'm just going to tell her I'm going to continue to be cheeky. So there you go, XRP Rose.
Okay. What a wonderful human being.
What would be nice is if you get Arrington on, if you could. I don't know if that'd be possible. He's quite a big. For some reason, he's blocked me. I don't know why. I think it's because of my name. I've chosen my name. I think he doesn't like it.
Well, I don't. You know, it's funny how we get blocked by certain people. I think the first day that I ever got on to Twitter, Galgatron blocked me. I never even tweeted anything yet, and then all of a sudden, I'm blocked. So I don't know how that happens. So I don't know.
Yeah, I remember when I remember when he came to the space, he was begging everybody for followers, and I tweeted it out saying, please following him. And then I started seeing what he was typing out and making scenarios up that didn't even exist. So I got upset and said, no, that's not right. You're making stuff up. And then he blocked me. I thought, well, that's a bloody cheek. And then I see people praising him, and I'm going, well, no, he's just very clever with words. Be careful with these people. You know, some people can make something look like it's not real. You know, and they're going to praise him. And after I've done this video, oh, no, he's brilliant. No, he really isn't. I mean, he's just very clever with words. Just look at the reality of how things are going. The banks are working with Ripple. It's going to happen. Just be patient. It may not happen this year. It might happen next year. We don't know. I'm hoping it's going to happen this year because, you know, Ripple seem to be confident they're going to open up 195 corridors by 2021. We're still stuck on 5 corridors. I don't know how they're going to achieve the 190. It makes no sense to me, but let's see what develops. I don't know if the Middle East one's happened, the swell Middle East has happened yet, but I'm expecting something for Africa. So keep an eye on that.
I thought it went smashingly well. So take care again, and I look forward to continuing our conversation at a later date. Okay.
You too, mate. Enjoy the weather. I'm hoping it's going to rain here. It's so damn hot. See ya.
All right. Take care.